Hey everyone, it's Jack and Adam back once again with more news. News number 2 of today. The excitement never stops.
Oh, it's too much for me, to be honest, Jack. I'm going to have to take a breather. One moment. Go on then.
Headlines it is. First of all, we take a look at future plans for a new SmackDown Star. Next up, we also have an update on SummerSlam 2021. And finally, we'll also take a look at what is potentially going on with Jeff Hardy's WWE future. So, first of all, let's head to Fightful, who have been talking about future plans for a new SmackDown superstar, but plans which were apparently put on hold because they were meant to happen on last week's SmackDown, I think I'm right in saying, and then they've been stopped. We're talking about Mia Yim, Adam.
That's right. So yeah, the report was that she was going to be making her debut on the Throwback edition of SmackDown. She was silently moved over to the SmackDown roster, as reported by PW Insider a few weeks ago. We've not seen her for a little while, and Fightful also giving a bit of an update as to what to expect from Mia Yim. They say that her first feud will be with none other than Carmella. Thoughts?
That would presumably mean that Mia Yim is going to be a face again. Then
Good words. They'll surely scrap all of the retribution nonsense. She's not going to come out with a mask, right?
I'd like Reckoning to still be around. No, I wouldn't. I want it to be Mia Yim again. Yeah. Reckoning. You're never going to be taken seriously with a name like Reckoning, are you?
No, no, you're not. I think it's a good first feud for her on the Blue brand. I think that's decent. I think she'll be going over there and hopefully working her way up, because she's so unbelievably talented. She's certainly a future women's champion. I don't see that happening too soon, but going in there with Carmella, that should produce some decent enough wrestling. I'm into this. They don't seem to know what to do with Carmella. Like, they made a big deal of her coming back, did all the vignettes for ages, and then came back and she's just sort of been lost in the shuffle again.
Yeah, she had a fairly good feud with was it Sasha Banks at first when she first came back?
Yeah, it went on a bit though, didn't it?
It did, and then Reginald just took over, and it was Reginald Mania for a while. Another very interesting part of this Fightful report on SmackDown is that apparently one of the reasons that Mia Yim was cut from the show was because they had to make last minute changes and like shuffle things around, because the idea to have it as a throwback SmackDown was quite a late idea from Fox, not from WWE. Right. So Fox came in.
It's about cross-promotion. They were doing a throwback edition of some sort of NASCAR show. I don't know the specifics. I don't really follow it. But it was, just a way of getting... Because it was pretty lackluster as far as a throwback thing goes. Yeah, you had Teddy Long there, but there wasn't much else.
They put it like a thing at the not the fist, which everyone was disappointed about. They didn't have the SmackDown fist, but they had just a thing that said Throwback SmackDown.
Yeah, it was throwbacks from different eras as well. Like you
little
had
snippets,
Pat McAfee doing like the Vince McMahon thing, but then you had the fist there as well when Vince wasn't doing commentary. It was all a bit all over the place. It was fun for what it was, and I still think it was a decent episode of SmackDown.
Yes.
Just not a big deal.
But they had to make room for these little flashback segments like Booker T and Austin in the supermarket, or the grocery store, as Americans would probably say. And oh God, you laughed there, which put me off a little bit. But because they had to make room for these little segments, that's one of the reasons that Mia Yim may have been shoved slightly from the show. But
for sure. So expect to see her on Friday. That's good. That's exciting. Speaking of Throwback SmackDown, big ratings win, up 13.1% from the previous week's episode. So good stuff there. The viewership totaling 2.282 million viewers. Not too bad.
Yeah. There's a couple of things at play here. One could be that Fox were just right. Throwback SmackDown. Let's make every week Throwback SmackDown if it did that well. But also, last week's one went against night 2 of the NFL draft. So not the big showcase night of the NFL draft, but still, the NFL's huge in the United States, and it was always going to struggle maybe a bit going against that. So that figure could be a little bit inflated, possibly, the increase from last week until this one, but it's still a good sign. Still a good sign for SmackDown.
I reckon it's going to do 4 million this week with Mia Yim.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, Reckoning, if she's back as Reckoning. Switching promotions briefly now, we're going to talk about AEW for a second, because they have got some touring plans coming up for the month of July. So basically, AEW are still planning to go ahead with that, and they're going to become the first major wrestling promotion to safely return to a traveling schedule since well, since everything shut down, since March 2020, basically. And there are some dates announced for live shows in various different areas, actually. So we've got Miami, Austin, and Dallas as well. So on Wednesday, July 7th, they'll be at the James L. Knight Center in Miami, Florida. On Wednesday, July 14th, they'll be at the HEB Center in Cedar Park, Texas, which is in the greater Austin area. And on Wednesday, July 21st, they'll be at Curtis Culwell Center in Garland, Texas, which, of course, as we all know, is in the greater Dallas
area.
Metropolitan.
WWE must be seething. There are all these reports floating about that they wanted to get back to it first, and AEW pipped them to the post there. But it's cool. It's really exciting. I'm obviously looking forward to proper big crowds and touring and all that stuff. As long as it can be done safely, then yeah, good for them. Good for them.
Have you been offered your vaccine yet?
No, not at the
No,
text.
same.
Really want it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? Oh well, we're still young. Haha.
Bloody NHS, lazy bastard. Love to the NHS. Clap.
Yes,
clap.
Absolutely. Yes. Why have I just so heartily agreed there? I do agree, but I don't know why I just try to do it in a newsreader. Absolutely, moving swiftly on now. To a SummerSlam update, because we've had a little bit of a strange happening on the Wrestling Observer Radio recently. Dave Meltzer may be making a little bit of a slip-up, Adam.
That's right. Sorry, I was taken over, but you go ahead if you want.
No, go for it.
We're really good at this. So yeah, it was announced or reported by PW Insider that the pay-per-view will take place, SummerSlam taking place on the 22nd of August, the day after my birthday. So that'll be fun. But Dave let in slip. On the Observer radio show this morning, saying that he had heard Madison Square Garden, but then went, wasn't supposed to say that.
And then Aidan told us in our work chat, Aidan popped in and said, yeah, just to clarify, what happened was, Meltzer said that, then Alvarez said, do you want us to edit that out? And then Dave went, no, don't bother.
Doesn't give a damn, does he? That'd be amazing, though. Wait, the last time they ran was it 2011? It's been a long time.
I believe it was Survivor Series 2011 was potentially the last show. Last pay-per-view, the WWE ran in Madison Square Garden, which I think was the one where CM Punk won the belt back from Del Rio and jumped into the crowd and went, yay, they love me.
I can't wait for SummerSlam. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to be in England, as Tom Campbell seems to keep implying. Because
I've been saying I want that as well. Cena put a thing on Instagram with the keep calm SummerSlams in Britain. It didn't say that.
He did, but keep calm and... It was almost that, wasn't it? It was that format. But I don't think that's just a British thing anymore. I think memes have taken it universal. Maybe. You know, would Keyboard Cat just be an American thing? Do you remember Keyboard Cat? Come on. Moving on.
Where the bloke, he's got his hands up his jumpers like that. And
Yeah.
Good video.
I think the cat is real, but the hand is in the cat's jumper, yeah. Do you know what, right?
Well, don't kayfabe, mate.
Sorry. I'm obviously more of a cat person than a dog person, right?
Yeah.
Met a cat the other day. My mate's cat, Lizzie.
Met a cat.
Met a cat. Not just on the street walking along. This was in my mate's house. And thankfully, we remained socially distanced, don't worry. But the cat came over to me in the garden. And I was like, what's his name? What's it? It was a girl. He went, it's Lizzie. I went, Lizzie, hello. Lizzie was so friendly. I just patted my knee. She jumped right up on me. I was like, this is lovely. What a friendly cat. And then for no reason, about 3 minutes in, and I wasn't stroking her hard, I was just chatting to my mate and just bit me and scratched me at the same time. She latched around my wrist like that. I went,
Unpredictable, wild card.
Why do they do that, some of them?
Because they make the rules, don't they? They're not like dogs who are just happy little morons, just chuffed for any attention. They're in charge, and she was letting you know that. I thought you were allergic. I thought you were going to say.
No, I'm allergic to dogs.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So
Speaking of dogs, Jeff Hardy looks to be sticking in WWE for a little while. Obviously, he was defeated in no time at all, about 3.5 minutes by Jinder Mahal on Raw last night. And this has led to speculation, which has been really fueled by Matt Hardy, who says, I really want to work with Jeff again to sort of wrap up our careers. But it's been the speculations there that Jeff may be finishing up with WWE and heading over to AEW, perhaps, to do stuff with Matt. But that doesn't look to be the case. PW Insider saying that he signed a contract extension last summer, meaning that he's going to be sticking around for 2 or 3 years. So a bit of a rumour killer there, unfortunately, which is a shame because I'd love to see them do Hardys one more time. That's the way they should go out, right?
Yeah, it seems like one of those situations where, I mean, fair play to Jeff. If he's happy still making money in WWE, then all power to him. But it seems to be one of those where maybe WWE want him so that no one else can have him.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything with him for 2 years, are they?
They're having him lose to Jinder in a few minutes. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, and finally, WWE are bringing back a previously used NXT Takeover event because the next Takeover, according to Fightful, will take place on Sunday, June 13th, and will be NXT Takeover in your house. They're bringing it back. And I seem to remember that got quite a positive reception last year.
It was brilliant, really good show, really varied show as well. No, it was class. It was great. All the takeovers are. I don't really remember the last bad takeover. I don't know if there's ever really been a bad takeover. They've all been great, but no, the In Your House was brilliant. Looking forward to seeing it back. I like the nostalgia things. They always do pretty well with it, and nothing to really add there. Good.
Sounds good. You're Twitch streaming tonight, is that right?
Yeah,
Adam?
Twitch streaming. I don't know what I'm watching. I think I'm going to do a bit of catchphrase.
Oh, fantastic. Wonderful stuff. Well, everybody check out that. What time do you start? 6 p.m. And thanks very much for everyone for watching this video. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below, and we'll see you very soon.